Dan, you done looking at your iPad? Can we podcast or something?
Excuse me. I am looking for food heists.
Oh, we're gonna food heist today?
We have a food heist about which I have very few details.
Okay.
Because the article is in Hebrew because this happened in Israel.
Okay.
At the time this was sent to me, this was brand new and fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And that was months ago. Okay, so during the war between Israel and Iran, some thieves took advantage of the fact that this big food factory warehouse was unguarded.
Okay.
And so they did advanced surveillance. They disabled all the security cameras with spray paint. They got a vehicle with forged license plates.
Okay.
They cut the gate chains so they could get into the containers.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stole 104 tons of peanuts.
104 tons.
Yes. And the article's in Hebrew, so it doesn't actually say this was the Snackaderms.
I know who it is.
But it's obviously the Snackaderms, right?
Yep.
There's no way that it's not.
104 tons of peanuts. This is the Snackaderms.
Yeah.
Yep. They're moving up. First we had the Beargler last week, and now the Snackaderms.
Now the Snackaderms,
they're
back at it.
Pull heists of opportunity by stopping cars and eating the stuff. Now,
this is a pretty sophisticated heist.
Yeah.
With multiple moving parts, stealing 104 tons of peanuts. The article, the note that I was sent estimates that's around $600,000 worth of peanuts.
Wow. Okay, they're building a criminal empire.
Yeah.
They've got to pay a lot of elephants to be able to pull that off. So, today, I want to talk about this. I want to show people this.
I looked through that, and it's incredible.
We're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but friends of ours, Leigh Bardugo, who you might know her from Shadow and Bone, the TV show. She's a fantastic writer. And John Picasso, who's a friend of ours, really great fantasy artist. I was at Worldcon a few weeks ago, months ago, depending on when this goes. And he walked by and said, "Hey, Brandon, look at this." And he showed me the artist proofs for this thing he'd been working on for years, which is his Mexican heritage, kind of interpreted as this fantasy picture book. He said, "I know you just did a picture book. Check this out." And I was blown away. I actually pre-ordered a copy on Amazon right then. I brought it today to show off to Dan because, Mexico and things.
It's super cool. Leigh Bardugo wrote it. John Picasso, who I have not met.
Okay.
I've met Leigh.
I say friends of ours. Friend of mine.
But I want to meet him. This book is gorgeous.
It's called The Invisible Parade, by the way.
I was incredibly delighted that at one point I turned the page and realized it was a double page. And inside of it, you unfold it. So instead of a 2-page spread, it's a 4-page spread. That's just gorgeous. It's so good looking.
Yep. So it's some Day of the Dead inspired fantasy art in a picture book form. So anyway, we don't get. There's no one paid us to do this. It's just a cool thing, and I thought I would promo it. Though speaking of cool things, we're finally going to talk about Superman.
Hey, Superman.
So I have a history with Superman movies.
I think it's funny that last episode we kind of teased K-pop Demon Hunters and didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
And we're doing the same thing this week.
I mean, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it eventually.
But
Superman.
Superman. I love the Christopher Reeves one. Christopher Reeve, not Reeves, because Reeves was the old Superman.
Okay.
Right? Am I right on that?
I think it's Reeve. Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Reeve. Really love the first one, and the second one's somewhat beloved to me despite its flaws.
Yeah.
Did not like the third and fourth ones, but...
the third one scared me more than almost anything I've ever seen in my life.
Is that the Superman versus himself battle?
No, it's I'm pretty sure this is the third one. Third one's Richard Pryor,
yes.
right? There's a bit where the supercomputer they have built grabs one of the evil scientists and forcibly cyborgs her.
Okay.
And that was my introduction to body horror as a child, and it freaked me out.
But anyway, I really like Superman. I've read a decent number of Superman comics. I haven't read a ton of comics as total, but I really like the death and rebirth of Superman. I like Kingdom Come. And Lois and Clark was one of my jams when I was in high school. Caught that every week. So I was really excited for a new Superman movie when Superman Returns came out. And I was burned.
Yeah.
Superman Returns was like a 5 out of 10.
If that.
Yeah, if that. It's a 5 out of 10 if you're very fond of Superman and you enjoy John Williams' scores.
It was very much a follow-up to the Christopher Reeve Superman in that Lex Luthor was a really goofy real estate mogul.
It was intentionally, I think his name is Richard Donner. It was intentionally trying to replace movie 3 in the Christopher Reeve ones with a new one, following Richard Donner's second one.
Yeah.
Because he was fired in the middle of the second one, and new people did 3 and 4. And so this filmmaker's like, well, we'll just... So they cast people saying, act as if you are this character, this person. And it did not work.
I really like the actor that played Superman.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Brandon Roth.
Brandon Roth. He's been great in other stuff.
He was not a bad Superman.
Nothing about this really worked.
Yeah, it was too campy mixed with too serious at times, and like it was taking very seriously the fact that Superman and Lois hooked up at the end of movie 2, and then ignoring that he gave her the kiss of forgetfulness, thankfully. But then they have a history, and he's left and he's coming back, and it's really dramatic and kind of uncomfortable.
It's kind of weird, like the whole idea that Superman would be a deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
Who disappears as soon as his girlfriend gets pregnant.
Yeah.
He
didn't know, but yes,
well.
None of it sat well, and it just didn't work. So 5 out of 10, maybe a 4, right?
I would give it a 3.
You give it a 3?
I really didn't like it.
Okay. That's fair. So I'm like, all right, we'll give them one flop. At Writing Excuses Retreat, the first year, maybe the second year, at Man of Steel came out while we were at the retreat, and Howard and I went opening night. I've been at opening night for both of those, right? And I really didn't like Man of Steel.
Same.
I love both. Again, fantastic Superman.
Yeah, Cavill was great as Superman. Yeah. I thought Amy Adams was great as Lois.
Yep, though the chemistry didn't work in that one.
They did not have any chemistry with each other.
They did later on.
But they were good in their parts.
By Justice League, they had...
I couldn't even finish Justice League.
Regardless, I guess it wasn't Justice League. Anyway, but they were both very good in their parts. And I aggressively disliked that one. The way they treated Pa Kent, I just could not get over.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's, I think, the most common complaint about that movie, but it had a lot of problems.
Right. That's endemic of the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like you watched an opener that was a 10 out of 10, and then I would give that one like a 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Worse than Superman Returns for me.
I am not a big fan of the Snyder movies. I find them ugly and self-important and kind of ill-conceived, which I suppose makes them the Cybertruck of movies.
Wow, that's good, Dan.
Thank you. But yeah, just kind of foundationally wrong-headed. And I understand they have their fans. Obviously, those fans can like whatever they want to like. For me, they did not work.
I wouldn't go so far as that. I'm like, it was like a 3 out of 10 for me, or a 4 out of 10, though, with a healthy dose of, I appreciate what you're trying to do. It's not for me, right? I'm still of the mood. I wouldn't describe Snyder's movies that way. I'd say they're for Snyder's fans, and they get what they want, and they're well done in that light. They're just not something that I enjoy. And his Justice League cut is better than the Whedon Justice League cut. So
I haven't seen his cut.
Okay. And I will say that for all their flaws, the scene where Superman sees Flash and tracks him.
Watched that, and it's genuinely terrifying.
It's one of the best Superman media things I've ever seen. So, right. So I've been burned twice. So I didn't go to this one on opening night, even though it's got a good track record. You know, it's James Gunn. I'm just like, do I want to see another Superman? Yes, I do. Am I going to go out and see it opening? I mean, I'm traveling, so I just waited for it to come to my theater, and I watched it last night.
Okay, and
7.
7.
Yeah.
I think I would rank it a little higher than that. But 7 or 8 is about where I would put it as well.
Walking out was at 8.5. And it's one of those movies that depreciates over time for reasons we'll talk about. But here's the thing. I only needed a 7. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
7 still puts it like twice as good as either of the previous ones.
Yeah. And I think, like I only needed a 7. I only needed to go and enjoy Superman again for me to be happy that this movie exists. And so, you said 8.
Yeah.
Did you
I
see
think
it?
I'll say 8.
Okay.
I did not see it I did see it in a theater. I took my kids to it last weekend. Actually on Wednesday, because I knew we were going to record Thursday and I thought we might talk about Superman. So I made sure to see it in time. Took
last Thursday.
my kids to the theater and got a bunch of popcorn and really, really enjoyed it. I thought Rachel Brosnahan was phenomenal Lois.
Our best Lois since
since Margot Kidder.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, a little better, honestly, than Margot Kidder.
It's hard to compare those movies with this much time in between for aesthetics and anyway. But yes, fantastic, and I would say good chemistry.
Yeah,
I thought
very
they
good
had
chemistry between them,
which is something that I was really happy to see.
Dude who plays Superman, very good Superman.
Yeah, very good for this incarnation of Superman in particular.
Yeah. We don't really get to see much Clark. I think there's like one scene where he's Clark, and the rest of the time he's Superman.
It's okay, though, because they're not doing an origin story. We don't need to see him that much as Clark. So really like that. Really like the art direction and the action. Loved seeing a golden / Super Age or just a comics accurate Superman and world where it just everything felt a little goofy, and that's okay.
Yeah, having Crypto in it, and right off the bat, like Crypto's the first thing you see, just tells you what kind of movie this is going to be in the beginning. And it's not that it was dumbing down Superman. It's not that it was not taking Superman seriously. It was just presenting Superman as a person. Part of the whole plot arc is I'm human too.
Yeah.
I was raised here. I have the same hopes and dreams and fears as everybody else. I'm one of you. And starting off with him get beat up and then his dog comes and licks his face, that tells you what kind of Superman this is going to be.
It's a genius opening.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you like that trailer, I thought, oh, that's somewhere halfway through the movie or maybe the 3/4 mark. No, it's the first scene.
It's the very first thing.
That's awesome. Like when that scene happened, I'm like, oh, I don't know what this movie is. Like I thought I knew the whole I thought I knew the whole plot. Nope, that's the opening scene.
Yeah. There were definitely some things I didn't see coming. There were definitely some things I absolutely saw coming. Yeah. Like when the movie ended, by
the way, spoilers. Like,
copious spoilers. Should we non-spoiler talk first?
Let's non-spoiler talk.
Okay. I do want to say that I really loved Green Lantern.
Yes.
Guy Gardner's my favorite Green Lantern.
And he was a spot-on Guy Gardner.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion did a good job with him.
Mr.
Hawk Girl didn't really get to do much, but Mr. Terrific was so good.
He stole every scene he was in.
Yeah.
The way that he floated in the chair just in a 3D space was so cool. Something about the visuals of it and the acting. That was, did you know, I didn't know this stuff, that was Darwin from First Class.
I learned that
what?
yesterday, which is so great because Darwin went out so stupidly.
Yes.
And then he came back and got to be my favorite character in this movie.
I would also rank him as my favorite character in the movie.
The way he was able to show that his kind of one step removed from the people around him.
Yep.
He doesn't do good with emotions. He's great with numbers. He's great with machines. He doesn't really know how to interact. And sometimes that comes across as him not knowing what to say. Sometimes it comes across as him giving fantastical, snarky one-liners.
Yep.
He was wonderful.
So, So let's go into spoilers now.
Well, before let's also say this is probably my favorite on-screen depiction of Lex Luthor.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
I liked his. I liked the kid in Smallville. I've seen good Lexes before. This Lex
I will agree.
Really well.
I will agree, except for asterisks, which is the first thing we'll talk about in spoilers.
Okay.
So, cut out here if you don't want spoilers. One of the big things that marks it down for me, and for me, marking down, I don't look necessarily at plot holes, things that are unexplained, but things that bother me, that encroach upon my enjoyment of the film, and this happens with so much Superman media, is the Lex Luthor problem. That his intricate, brilliant plan is actually stupid. And that really bothers me that no one's able, so far, in any film media, been able to have a smart Lex Luthor. So what did Lex Luthor say he was trying to do the whole time?
He was trying to kill Superman. He was trying to get rid of him.
So first sequence of the film, he has a person who can kill Superman hovering above him that no one can track to Lex Luthor. And he says, we have enough. We're done.
Yeah.
He does not actually kill Superman.
Yes.
That's all he needed to get everything he wanted, because then he can take the country that he wants. No one can trace that he was the one that killed Superman. He has him right there, and he just doesn't.
And the whole plot of the movie is kind of a convoluted plot engineered to get Superman back into that same position again.
Exactly. I'm like, come on. Can't we just have an actual smart Lex?
Okay, hold on. This is where the way that I took it was, the opening of that whole sequence was, he wanted him to not look like a martyr, though. If they do that, he becomes a martyr. They need
Who
the rest.
cares?
All right.
Who cares?
Lex Luthor cared.
Why?
Because he specifically wanted to get rid of him in a way that people would no longer think he was cool.
Exactly.
Because
It's pride.
Lex Luthor was being driven by pride and envy the whole time.
I will accept this. This is a good rebuttal to me.
Yeah.
Except for, he's like, I engineered the thing with the country so I could have the permission from the people to kill you. He already kind of had that, right? He would have accepted. This is my rebuttal to you. Okay. He went to the UN and people and said, look, he interfered with this country. This country then sent a guy to destroy our city and kill him. Therefore, I should be able to arrest him and execute him.
Yeah.
He was totally happy at that point. He'd done everything he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and the rest of the plot was very peripheral to that.
Yep.
I keep calling it Barovia. It's not Barovia.
Yeah.
Baravia?
Boravia,
It was
yes.
Baravia and Jaunpur. It was very obvious Russian analog attacking an Indian name for a very obvious Palestine analog.
Yes.
I kind of got the impression that Lex was just letting them continue their nonsense, and he didn't care anymore.
He would have been willing to take Superman right then, according to the plot. And so he had done everything he needed. So if he would have just killed him right then, he would have had everything he wanted.
Yeah.
So that's my rebuttal there.
Okay.
And he is also very dumb in leaving the baby
Right,
in
where
reach
he could get it.
of Superman.
What was he? Remind me what he's interrogating Superman to
he
try
wants to find
out.
Superman's parents. That's the first thing. He asked them, who raised you?
Well, yeah, but in the negative zone or whatever they call it, the extra dimensional Guantanamo.
Yes.
He is trying to get information out of him.
Yes.
What was it?
Well, the only thing he asked was, "Who raised you?"
Who raised
That's
you?
what made him shoot the guy.
So he was just trying to humiliate him in person?
Maybe.
I guess.
Some of that was there. He also was like, I'm going to find your reporter friend, because he just wants to make Superman suffer the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he said they would have killed you already if they would have given me permission.
Oh, good point.
He said that. And so, but leaving the guy with the baby like 20 feet from Superman, you have video screens.
Yeah.
You can have a gun to the baby's head in another room. That's the number one thing. As soon as he did, I'm like, what are you doing? You are not the... Anyway, so the Lex problem. That's my first issue with this.
You are correct. This Lex, well, maybe a little smarter than previous Lexes and not the object of ridicule that, Gene Hackman played him as. And again, I love Gene Hackman's performance.
Yes.
But this Lex was a calculating evil guy instead of a kind of clever goofball.
Yes, and that was great.
Yeah.
And having all the numbers he can shout out. But once again, why is he shouting the numbers out where Superman can hear? In a way that Superman can hear?
Yeah.
So that Superman can figure out how Lex has to...
Man, and that final fight where Superman puts all the pieces together and he says, oh, I know exactly how to survive this. He says, crypto, and I said, fetch. And then Superman said, get the toy, which is such a worse line.
It is.
And I really want to know at what point in their writing process they chose get the toy instead of get the ball or fetch or something that
just
would
saying,
have been.
Look, boy, ball. But let's talk about crypto. I actually didn't like crypto.
You didn't like crypto?
Crypto was like the screaming goats for me. Every time he came on screen, like it got worse and worse.
Oh, that stuns me.
Does it?
I thought crypto was great.
I'm kind of cringing every time he's on screen. And maybe you liked him. I thought that they thought crypto was funnier than he was. I was really tired of and again, it's like when crypto bites Lex's arm, I'm like, do we have to have this kind of joke? We've had it so much. I'm so tired of this.
I will agree with you that crypto, as much as I liked him, he was incredibly one note.
Yeah.
He would come on and spend far too much time not listening, and then he would listen. And that disobedience, again, never became plot relevant. It didn't really pay off.
It paid off in the epilogue with
when it turns out that it's actually
but anyway, it's only a small mark because I really liked him the first few times, but then it got old real fast for me to the point that I'm just like I want to love the dog, and I really don't love the dog. I'm like, don't make me.
Despite our disagreement on this, I need to watch more movies with you. Because as the movie ends, this is a spoiler I was going to say earlier.
Yeah.
I turned to my wife and my children and I said, so at what point in the movie did you figure out that Ultraman was just a Superman clone? Because I knew it pretty much instantly.
Yes.
And none of my family picked it up.
I'm spoiled.
And I'm like, how could you not see that
I
coming?
know that Ultraman is a Superman in the comics. So
even then...
here's what I didn't
As soon as the hammer of Boravia shows down and takes off his helmet and there's a black mask under, I said, oh, they're doing The Boys.
Yeah.
This is a Superman clone who's evil and maybe stupid, and we're going to see this revealed late in the movie.
But here's what I didn't get that I thought was pure genius, that he becomes Bizarro. He gets sucked into the negative dimension.
That's true, I didn't pick up that at all.
I'm like, oh, it's Bizarro. We know James Gunn likes to bring things like this back, and I'm like, that's gonna be fun because they intentionally didn't have him talk the whole time. He got beaten by Superman. He's an inferior clone. And so he's gonna be back in a future film as Bizarro. And that's gonna be a lot of fun.
That will be fun. You're right. That was another thing that I saw coming 1,000 miles away was there's a black hole. Oh, that's how they're gonna get rid of Ultraman.
But it wasn't until they did it that I'm like, oh yeah. So anyway, props on that. I really like the Jimmy Olsen with the girlfriend thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't get Jimmy. First of all, I did not understand a lot of what was going on until halfway through the movie. I'm like, oh, apparently Jimmy's super attractive?
so
And that's what makes a lot of
here's
this
the
work?
thing. In the comics, Jimmy Olsen gets girlfriend after girlfriend, superpowers 70 times. Everything happens to Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
And so I was primed, and when I'm like, he got the text, he's like, I've got a source. I'm like, it's Lex's girlfriend. I knew it instantly because it's Jimmy Olsen. And it's not really a joke in the comics, but it's kind of a joke that Jimmy Olsen, he's completely irresistible. And he was in the film, and I loved that. They played it up. So yeah.
I will say one thing I did not predict, and that I do think was genuinely brilliant, was that all her kind of selfies turned out to be the secret information that brings Lex down, and she was doing that on purpose the whole time.
Yep.
That was so smart.
That was really good.
I loved that.
Yep. Thumbs up on that. Let's see. What was one? Oh, my biggest thumbs down, even bigger than Lex problem, is the character assassination of Superman's Kryptonian parents.
There's some admittedly thin justification in the comics for Jor-El being kind of fascist.
There is a bit, but
yeah.
The reason I don't like this, it's not just because of a character, whatever, but Superman is two main metaphors, right? He is the Moses Smith.
Yeah.
The baby found in a carriage, written in a
basket in the river,
in the river, written by Jewish writers, right? Yeah. He's a Moses Smith, so he's sent by God to bring to free the people.
Yeah,
this is the main.
That has been his foundation from the beginning. And
he is also, and they have said this, the creators, he's an immigrant story. It's the story of an immigrant and the power of an immigrant coming to America and making their best life. Both of those are ruined if what his father says is, go down, have a harem. Number one, it makes the immigrants like, how can he ever be proud of his heritage as an immigrant when the only thing he knows about his parents is so awful. And it ruins the Moses myth completely. And so the underpinnings, this is a Superman who can never be Jor-El. He can't be, or Kal-El. He can't be called Kal-El by his friends. He can't be proud of his immigrant heritage. Yeah. And that is really bothersome to me on a fundamental level, and it's costing an entire point for me.
Well, and I will agree with you on this. They, on the one hand, James Gunn was telling an immigrant story, right?
Yes.
The whole war was so obviously, please be nice to Palestine. Yes. Like there was all this stuff going on, but and he leaned really well into very classic immigrant fear-mongering. Like they're here to take your jobs, they're here to take your women, and that all works. But making all of that true instead of fear-mongering is real bad.
It's kind of terrible.
It's a really bad look on you.
Yeah. The hoops they had to jump through narratively to be like, no, it's absolutely true. And everybody believes it. Like, why did you have to jump through all these hoops?
And that was the most, the most telly part. You always hear show, don't tell. They never showed anyone being convinced by the footage.
Yeah.
And then they never showed anyone being convinced at the end. They just said, everyone believes this. And then at the end, they're like, everyone doesn't believe this anymore.
And that bothered me. Yeah. Right? Number one, you didn't even need it. Right? Like, Superman could be shaken by seeing this footage, not knowing if it's true. And we could all know, okay, you know what happened? They're going to send Superman off, and Zod got a hold of the footage and doctored it using Kryptonian technology or something, right? Yeah. And we would have, but James Gunn's gone on record saying, no, it was actually authentic. It will never be changed in the continuity.
Which is so weird.
And I'm just like, he gets Superman on so many levels, and you have to break some eggs to tell a story. I don't begrudge him. It's still a good movie, but this one bothers me. It bothers me not as much as Pa Kent, and thank you for giving me a Pa Kent back, James Gunn.
A very good Pa Kent.
A very good Pa Kent, as a Nebraskan, raised not far from where the Kents would have lived. Thank you very much. Their accents were a bit thick. I've been in that region quite a lot. My accent is the accent that you hear most of the time, but you know what? You can still have some very rural Kansas folk. So, but did we have to lose Jor-El in order to gain Pa Kent back? So there you go. That's my big complaint.
No,
about
and that's a
Superman.
very good complaint to raise. Yeah.
I think we'll talk about this next week as a preview.
Oh.
Being unwilling or not having the time to fully engage with the themes that you bring up is my other kind of big complaint. And I'm complaining a lot about a movie I liked. But when a movie's a 7, I'll actually have way more to say. So in this, it raises the same issue of, are superheroes gods or not?
Yeah.
It makes us think about it, and then it refuses to engage with this topic. When Superman can't save both people at once, Guy is just like, yeah, we'll go do it. When Guy and Hawkgirl were so against it before, off screen they're convinced to go intervene in a war and assassinate the ruler of a country.
Yeah.
When before they wouldn't even lift a finger. What happened there?
Yeah. We don't get to see
what changed? And that bothered me because it felt like a gotcha. But it's a larger gotcha in the, we're not really engaging with the questions that we asked. You don't have to give me answers, but you got to engage with this idea of she interviews Superman, asks all these hard questions, and the answer.
And it was a good interview.
It was fantastic.
That was a wonderful scene because those are real questions.
And by the end, we don't have answers or even an attempt to engage with the difficult complexities of that question.
Yeah.
And that bothers me enough to say, you gave me a 7, that's all I wanted. Thank you, but I can't give you a 10 because you weren't willing to engage with your own issues.
I had actually very similar issues with Winter Soldier and Civil War from the MCU. Because Winter Soldier starts by saying, what's more important, privacy or security? This is an important question. It's a real question we all struggle with in our actual lives today in America. And the movie didn't have an answer to it. It ended with a big old fight. And then Civil War was like, well, should superheroes be able to intervene in foreign conflicts? Should they be under government control? And then it kind of didn't really have an answer to that either.
I will, at least with both of those, say I didn't need them to give answers. They engaged with the question, particularly if you look at Civil War. The answer was, this guy still thinks he's right, and this guy still thinks he's right, and it's messy. And I'm okay with that being an answer.
Well, and for me, the eventual answer at the end of Civil War was, freedom is more important than government control if everyone is Captain America. And he realized not everyone is me, so I'm going to stop pushing my agenda.
Yeah. But Superman, I feel like they just
dropped it.
They just dropped it. They didn't have the time for it or whatever. And
at least, the movie gave us a nod at the end with the 2 government guys, and the one says, "I hope you're happy now because the superheroes are calling the shots," or whatever the line was.
And I do think that is going to be their theme. So I'm gonna give them a pin in this that they can deal with it. I just hope it doesn't become too heavy-handed through the rest of the
It
universe.
is at least a sign that James Gunn knows what we're upset about.
Yeah.
And he knows that it's an issue, and he's going to come back to it. So,
and this could be one that gets revised upward as we get more and more, because it's the introduction to a larger cinematic universe. And let's hope that it does. Good film, fantastic fight sequence with Mr. Terrific. Thank you for that, Mr. Gunn. Some people online are like, "Oh, it's just like Guardians." I'm like, I go to a James Gunn film because I want to see cool scenes.
We want to see that
he comes up with.
We haven't talked about this at all.
Yes,
but I really loved Element Man.
Yeah,
I loved the way that he wasn't a superhero; he was just a dude. Like all his dialogue is delivered as flat as possible on purpose, because he's like, "I'm Superman," and the guy goes, "Hey, I'm Element Man."
Yeah.
Like, he's just a guy who happens to have incredible powers. Seeing him on screen, seeing him show up at the battle at the end, I liked all of that.
Did you like Justice Pals?
The
Or was
Justice
that
Gang?
Justice Gang. Was that two's Taserface?
My surprise at the end was when they made the joke where Element Man says, "Oh, I like that," instead of him saying, "How about the Justice League?" Like,
Yeah.
that's what I was expecting.
And it's better this way.
Yeah.
So, all right. Good film. Hope you guys saw it and didn't let us spoil too much ragging on it. I really did like it.
Yeah.
So
we critique things because we want to raise an A to an A plus. Or I
And-
guess you have a 7, so it's like a B to an A.
yes. Next week.
Next week,
K-pop.
will we or will we not talk about K-pop Demon Hunters? Ooh.